Welcome to Global Ocean TV, brought to you by the TerraMar Project. I'm today's host, Rob Foos. Here are the headlines. Shell cleared to drill in Arctic Ocean. The Obama administration cleared the way on Wednesday for Shell to start drilling in the Arctic Ocean this summer, but the safety restrictions it is imposing could slow the pace at which rigs strike oil. The authorization was widely expected after the Interior Department gave conditional approval in May for the company's long-delayed application to drill in the untouched waters off the Chukchi Sea, off Alaska's northwest coast. Apalachicola's disappearing oyster. For many Southern Americans, especially those who reside in Florida or spend their summers vacationing on the northwest coast of the Sunshine State, the ideal oyster comes from Apalachicola Bay, a body of water about 160 miles east of Pensacola Beach and 75 miles southwest of Tallahassee, the state capital. But there's a problem with oysters from Apalachicola Bay. They're getting harder and harder to find beyond the hyper-local market. Addicted to antibiotics, Chilean salmon flops at Costco. Amid concerns of antibiotics overuse contributing to the development of drug-resistant superbugs, American consumers are increasingly demanding antibiotic-free meat and fish. That's bad news for Chilean salmon farmers, who are facing a bacterial outbreak and treating their fish with record levels of antibiotics, losing the business of Costco and others in the process. Traveling with blue goose passports. Conservationist Rachel Carson, who wrote many books, is most famous for the book Silent Spring, a book that looked at pesticides and their effect on wildlife and humans. She wrote this about the blue goose symbol in her introduction to the Conservation in Action series. If you travel much in the wilder sections of our country, sooner or later you are likely to meet the sign of the flying goose, the emblem of the National Wildlife Refuges. Public Alert Day to be held for offshore oil drilling in the Atlantic. On Saturday, July 25th, the members and volunteers of Stop Offshore Drilling in the Atlantic will hold a public alert day to inform people along the South Carolina coast of the dangers of seismic testing and offshore oil drilling. SOTA members and volunteers will be posted all along the South Carolina coast from North Myrtle Beach to Sullivan's Island, on the beaches and at businesses in various towns. Oceana will be in North Carolina, and the group One More Generation will be holding a rally in Centennial Olympic Park in Atlanta. It is shaping up to be quite a day. Ancient Japanese wetland microbes discovered beneath the sea. If you want to find some weird undiscovered organisms, the sediments more than 2 kilometers below the ocean floor should be a good place to look. The heat and pressure are intense and food is in short supply. But researchers have now obtained the first samples of microorganisms from these depths, and they turn out to be surprisingly ordinary. The cells are similar to microbes that live in a less demanding habitat on land, the soils and forests. Shark purses. In this episode of Weird Fins, all about strange stuff in the sea and brought to you by the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, Kristen in La Cañada, California asks if it's true that some sharks carry purses. The answer is yes, but it's probably not what you're thinking. Check out these stories in the Daily Catch and tune back in Monday for the best ocean, river, and lake news from around the world. Thank you. Did you enjoy this broadcast from Global Ocean TV? Stay up to date with the latest ocean, river, and lake news by subscribing to our channel.